As Worley tries to heal, she's counting on her close family to help her get over the bigotry she encountered in Grand Isle.
It was humiliating. It was a humiliating scene.
Didn't we say this was going to start happening to black women, where non-blacks will start disrespecting them without fear, like they used to do in the past? Also, didn't we say that black men are going to start standing by and do nothing about it too? I made a video last year called "Black Women Will Regret Making Enemies Out of Their Men," and many black men understood what I was saying. Many black women just dismissed it and go, "Oh, white men will just defend us." Well, in this video, it shows white men standing by, and it shows a black man standing by. All of them do nothing to the aggressor. However, the black man is the one most people are focusing on to do something to this white man. Well, I don't know why any of those men just stood there, but none of them can be faulted in this day and age of ungrateful-ass American women, and especially the black one. Those days of chivalry are basically gone, where men will jump to the defense of black women and not knowing who she is. Me personally, I would have told any black person to immediately back out of the area simply because a camera was filming the incident. If I or another black person attacked a racist, we would have had solid evidence against us to put us in jail for aggravated assault. If it were nighttime and no camera was around, then I would have went to work on that racist clown. But in no way, I said no way, would it be in the defense of that black woman. She is not my woman, nor is she my sister. A black man certainly could not have been surrounded by white men and spit in a white woman's face like that. He would have been the next lynching victim to be found in the backwoods somewhere, and especially that this took place in Louisiana of all places too. You see, white women, as foul as many of them are, still do not go out of their way to humiliate the white man and throw them under the bus like black women do to their men all the time. White men actually have a reason to defend their women, because he knows there's a fundamental sense of respect coming from his women, even if he's not rich. One poor dirt Mexican man has more respect from his woman in his village than a black man earning 10 times what he would do. Basically, the black woman with her relentless disrespect for the black man has left many of them feeling they have nothing to be bothered with. However, here's the surprise to this whole situation. This black woman who was humiliated by this white racist is said to be dating a white man herself. That's right. According to Tommy Sotomayor, he found out she was dating a white man. She seems to have been comfortable around white men enough to be surprised one of them did this to her. So, was it okay for that one black guy to have stood by like he did now? Maybe he knew who she dated. Maybe she let it be known, like many black women who date white men, that they have to let these black men know that who she's dating. Well, whichever way it goes, that black woman should call her white boyfriend now and have him defend her honor, right? Oh, that's right. Just like every time a black person is victimized by a racist, these non-black lovers of these black people are nowhere to be seen in the protest lines or marching with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. In the end, black people always end up on a losing end of the stick every time, right? I made a video last year called "Black Women Will Regret Making Enemies Out of Their Men." I made a video last year called "Black Women Will Regret Making Enemies Out of Their Men." I made a video last year called "Black Women Will Regret Making Enemies Out of Their Men." Black women will regret making good black men into their enemies. The warnings are being ignored. Despite what many black women think, most black men care more about them than they may believe. Since most black men come from black women, they are going to address a serious problem before it becomes too late to correct it. This is why you see so many videos with black men saying something to their women about their behaviors. There are numerous videos with black men stating they want black wives and black kids, but I rarely hear black women say they want a black husband anymore. If a black man did not care, there would be silence. If and when that silence comes, black women will regret it, since they will have no one else to look down on or blame for their faults. The good black men are the ones to lash out on TV, internet, disrespect in public, and then these women wonder why these men refuse to be treated this way anymore. It is like some bizarre rite of passage by many black women to emasculate black men, since the matriarchy rules from the grandmother down to the teenage mother in the black house these days. There will be repercussions when you make men to be meaningless. All one has to do is look at the Hurricane Katrina incident when all living hell broke in New Orleans. The power went out, foods got scarce, the police abandoned their duties, and blacks were corralled like diseased cattle into a football stadium and other unfit places for people in need. Many black women saw how irrelevant they became when the thugs, dope dealers, and so-called street soldiers they admired so much became thieves, murderers, rapists, and self-preservating savages. There was little to no chivalry from these lousy Negroes and white men the black woman thought would save her. The real black men were too occupied defending their own women and kids from the mayhem taking place around them, and not the Section 8 queens or the strong independent women with their college degrees. The white knight in shining armor only cared about his kind also. There were reports of white men showing up to the mass concentration area where blacks were, and specifically picking white people out of the crowd to take away with their boats. The blacks were left behind to fend for themselves. The madness got even more out of control as the days went on. For anyone thinking this was some anomaly that could not happen again, then you are terribly ignorant of the world around you and history itself. In many parts of the world where poverty and violence rules, feministic and blatantly disrespectful women are not tolerated. It is America that promotes this dysfunctional culture and all of the consequences that come with it. The death of chivalry. Let's look at modern day times and how women are no longer viewed as being protected. If a Titanic-like disaster took place at sea today, it would be very different from the one of the past. If a ship filled with black people for a spring break holiday was struck by a terrorist bomb and no help could come for hours, black women in mass numbers would be through. It will be every man for himself, followed by their women they came with will be the ones that made it on those life rafts. All the single independent women who showed up with their homegirls are history. There would be nothing black women could say as to why the men did not sacrifice their lives for them. That is because black women have not given black men in general any reason to even think about doing so, and they know it. Things are happening every day on the streets now with how black women are victims of beatings, rapes, murders, and robberies. They are not off limits to bloodthirsty hooligans anymore, and I am telling you from someone in the law enforcement field. It used to be the Tyrones and Daquans on the TV who were the latest murder victims or some shooting, but now the Shaquandas and Shanikas are common casualties. What made black women think they can promote and breed with the worst caliber of men possible and not have any consequences to deal with is beyond reason. Then again, logical reasoning and feminist man-hating American black women do not go together at all. Black woman power is dependent on white dominance. Due to the vehement hatred of black men by whites, followed by crooked affirmative action policies, black women are the ones used to get through the loophole policies of employing a minority. Everyone knows black women are not considered a threat to white men in the workplace and are now used to unleash hell upon black men in the workforce. Numerous black men can attest to the hostility from certain black women in the workplace. It all seemed like a bad dream, but it is all too real now. This madness is a direct result of white superiority where black women are elevated above their men who have the same qualifications as they do. However, recent events are beginning to dismantle a lot of wicked things in place. White people the world over are starting to feel the consequences of a decadent and self-entitlement lifestyle for the last 50 plus years. The economy is collapsing due to a failed monetary system built on borrowing money and not having it backed by anything of value other than overinflated real estate or worthless stocks and bonds. Millions of people are out of work. Crime is increasing, people are losing their home, welfare use is increasing, and the Sims are too broke to rescue women in need. Whites always were led to believe that they will have jobs waiting on them, but that is not the case now. When they end up poor and destitute, they will have nothing over the lowly Negro race that they look over. Where does this leave black women? Flat on their asses too, since whites who prop them up have fallen in hard times. Look at the employment lines if you do not believe me. There is impending chaos facing black women in America. Now with all the things happening in society, where the hell is there room to be concerned about black women bitching about not meeting men that can live up to their unrealistic standards? Few people are studying their concerns, and they are increasingly on their own since this is what they have fought so hard to achieve. People will do what is natural in hard times, and that is resort to survival of the fittest. Black women better pray to whatever God or whatever they believe in that society does not collapse, because people will naturally take sides with their own for survival purposes. This will not go so well for the American black woman in particular. They have made their men out to be their enemies with a vengeance for the last 20 years and a total of around 45 years since the feminist movement began. This new generation of black men today are no longer motivated to impress black women or defend them in dangerous situations because their sacrifices will not be appreciated. In fact, So many black men are so feminized that they will be the ones looking for black women to protect them in danger. A lot of black women have turned many black men into callous people who are not concerned with their well-being and safety. They have shunned the black men who wanted to care about her and do what manly men do. You black women can laugh all you want and dismiss this warning thinking men are bitter, jealous, hateful, but the joke will be on you in the end. A lot of you black women are facing a future to where many men do not like you, do not want you, do not care about you, and you will have absolutely no one to blame for this but yourselves. Some idiotic black women like to talk about black men not protecting them during slavery, which is an attempt to humiliate black men, and as if any one of them lived through it. But they will have something to really bitch about when the crap hits the fan, as the saying goes. This is not a threat or any intimidation tactic for black women to stop what they're doing to decent black men. This is simply a warning of things to come that any man with a sound mind can see. All I can say, along with the black men who are routinely banned for saying the same thing, is that we told you so. Good luck to your own survival, black woman.